Welcome to Wheeltalk.
Hello,
this is
Colin.
Colin. I'm here with Matt. Hi, Matthew. How are you?
Hello.
Happy New Year. Happy Lunar New Year.
Lunar New Year.
Year of the dog.
A dog. What kind of dog are you?
The trappy kind.
The trappy kind. I thought you were the ox kind.
We've got the special dog trap edition of the Wheeltalk podcast number 103. The Lunar New Year edition.
All right. Yeah, spring's upon us. New moon. New year. New
Lunar.
animal.
New bikes.
New bikes.
Chris Tucker. I'm just reading the board, man.
Like,
We're trying this new thing where we make a teleprompter out of a whiteboard.
yeah. It doesn't change necessarily.
But
But it is.
I'm just reading what we have on there so far.
Chop, chop, chop. Erase.
Making some progress on the Wheel Talk podcast. Dog Trap New Year edition. Bike forecast.
Yeah,
What
so
do we got today?
bike forecast for today.
Bike report.
Bike report. Oh, man. Today was beautiful, huh? It's
Oh,
supposed
my
to be
gosh.
this way all week long.
Cold but beautiful.
About 5 days of sun, but cold. So
But
please
no rain.
button up.
No
Zip
rain.
up your zipper.
Dry
up to your chin.
conditions.
Don't
Dry.
let that cold air in.
Yeah.
But besides that, today was fine. Except, oh man, going down Pine today. Those drivers,
there was,
man.
there was
coming
an
down.
incident. Yeah, it was tough.
All right, so we went to the food walk, went up
Lunar New Year food
Broadway.
walk.
Yeah. So people brought their dogs out to that too.
Really?
Yeah, because you can't really
Well, because
necessarily.
Year of the Dog.
Yeah, but last year with the rooster, nobody's bringing the rooster around. Okay, so you can bring your dogs, and then we went up
So it was
we
appropriate
went
to
up
bring
Broadway.
the dog this time.
It was. We went up Broadway, then we're coming down Pine,
Mm-hmm.
coming to some traffic. Or
Hamilton is letting out at the Paramount, by the way.
so it's busy.
It looked like it. But
Wait.
that was what was going on.
Hamilton.
The musical.
Oh right,
I think it was the first weekend in Seattle.
the Paramount, the music festival.
The musical with like the people from history and shit. Hamilton.
The theater.
It's a big deal.
Right.
I don't
Okay.
know anything about it either, man, but it's a big deal.
So when you're coming down
You should
Pine
know about it.
and 8th,
And
beware.
the Paramount Theater on Pine, there's a lot of bike.
It's not just a
lane.
one-day deal either.
No, this is ongoing.
Hamilton's
this is
a
an
thing.
ongoing thing. Anytime there's a show at the Paramount,
Yeah.
it's a big place.
Right. So watch the board. It changes.
But Hamilton, anyway, regardless,
Pine and 8th is busy.
There's a very interesting maneuver made from the left-hand turn lane into me. Almost died.
Well, yeah. What if you need to make a turn on Boren and
I was
then
going straight. Anyway, we're gonna get some GoPros and we're gonna put these on blast. These people
people who are cutting into you.
driving, people.
Okay, so listen. There's people biking. There's people driving, and so watch out for
and
people
there's
biking.
walking.
There's people walking. There's people everywhere. So when you're thinking about cutting across the road,
Yeah,
at
like
least think about it.
when you're exiting a left turn lane and you realize you're in the wrong place.
Go
please be
around.
Mindful of the fact that there are other people going.
Yeah. Or
in
people
this
like
different- yeah.
Colin could get hit.
I almost died.
What if you're on a fixed gear?
I was.
Can you stop?
I couldn't.
You can't stop
All I
immediately.
yelled was Jesus.
Oh wait, so not all cyclists
Super
can stop
loud.
right away in favor of cars?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Why do we have to
Right.
deference to vehicles?
I'm trying.
Traffic.
I feel like I want to understand.
It was really frustrating. But anyway, it kind of like helped fuel this new year discussion.
Yeah.
What
You have
we
some-
got? Well, number 2.
Number 2
on
of
the
the.
podcast, we have Blue Bikes Matter.
Oh man.
You tell me about what happened yesterday, right? At UW.
Oh,
There was
yes.
a big event with some free speech things, but
Yeah, let me lead you up to that one.
yeah.
Let me walk you
break it
towards
down.
it. So, I'm walking towards the campus looking for an e-bike for me and my friend, and her and I we come across some people and we're thinking, oh, where are all these cops like standing outside the University of Washington, and as we're walking up, we're just looking for some Lime bikes to ride. Because we want to go on a ride. Right.
Yeah.
Even the electric one, e-Lime. So we're looking for a bike. And we realize, okay, it's on the other side of campus. So we have to walk through a whole bunch of stuff. And people are saying, oh, hey, you should come to this. We're asking, what is it? It's like to each other. They say, it's a Patriot prayer. It's going to be fun. And
that does not sound like fun right now.
Yeah, Patriot prayer.
Patriot prayer.
But that's...
But the
how could you
Eagles
say
won.
no to a Patriot or a prayer?
But the Eagles already won.
Right. Right. Anyway, so as we're walking down... Yes, they did already win. Oh,
They
man,
lost.
please win.
They already lost, though. This was yesterday, right?
This is next year they want to win.
No, but the prayer for the Patriots, it was... This is my point.
It was for
the
six,
Patriots
right?
already lost.
Yeah.
Why do we need to pray for them? For their loss?
Okay,
They
admittedly...
won last 2
The
years
person
ago.
who said it's going to be fun
Anyway.
was Tom Brady. And he
Tom
said,
Brady was not in Seattle.
He said, it's going to be fun.
Gronk was in Seattle.
Right.
He was
You're
like...
right. And that was it. No. No.
He was
All
not
right.
either.
He wasn't here. Okay. But who was here?
Who were here?
Okay. Was some people doing an event at the University of Washington in support of free speech. And we were coming down and we were stopped by a police officer.
Yes.
They said, oh, who are you? We looked at him. We said, we're just passing through. They said, oh, you're going to need to go
Likely
around.
Story.
Right. Yeah.
Likely
Exactly.
Story.
We're
Just
just
passing
passing
through. Who's passing through
Yeah, I
the
don't-
UW campus on a Saturday?
Yeah, I don't think so. You're just trying to pass through?
No.
Likely story. Right, go around. So we do. And then now we're interested. We want to find out what it is. So we go into it, and there's
Why
people.
so serious?
Yeah, why so serious? Okay, so as we're walking up, right, we're going to get to the bike part in a second. But as we're walking up, there's people in American flag masks with American flags around their backs, and there's people in black, all black, and the black across their, black bandanas.
Black
But-
on black on black on black.
Mm-hmm. And then there were police officers, but not just any police officers. They had helmets
Oh,
and
no.
and elbow pads and knee pads, and they didn't have BMX bikes because they weren't doing any tricks, but they had,
They had a full
sturdy
face mask.
bikes. Yeah,
They did a full face helmet?
full face helmet. Yeah,
I think I
as
saw
if
the
they were
picture
going to
in
go
the
down
Seattle
like
Times.
right. Yeah, as if they're going down a huge mountain,
Yeah.
like taking on like the worst of the, I'm just out there in my helmet.
Looking for a line bike.
Look at I don't even have a helmet actually for the line bike. Anyways, that's not important. But the fact that there were bikes there,
Mm-hmm.
but there weren't bikes in like bike hippies like showing up on their bikes with flowers on them, riding in, on their sandals, and I think you can imagine like a San Francisco like cyclist
Right,
across
right.
across
This
the bay.
wasn't your standard protest, is
No.
what you're saying.
No.
Or standard cinematic protest.
Nowhere where you would expect to see bikes.
Right.
But when you did see bikes, you saw them ridden by police officers.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that's kind of where, like, you would... Okay, so when I was looking up bike news today, which I wanted to bring up today on the podcast, however, I couldn't really find too much. There's some lanes opening. There's new safe bike to route schools or, but overall it's not, I guess, making coverage. But the one that does make coverage that I see is on the Northwest Sunday News, and it has, a police officer, macing or say like arresting
What
or
does this
grabbing on
story say?
somebody.
I'm trying to read what it says right here. It's like Patriot prayer rally spray pepper spray. Yeah, and bicycles. There's just like
Pepper
all
spray,
those
bicycles,
words in
yeah.
one sentence.
Yeah, they arrest 5 at this rally because the protesters or the rally people for the freedom of speech were there, invited by the Republican, council of some sort of UW, and huge controversy over that. And really, then there was a protest against the rally, so a counter protest, in which case there needed to be provided
Extra security. Yeah, I
Security.
remember reading about the extra security, and then
Yeah.
they're figuring out who's going to pay for this extra security.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So the extra security then, when I was walking by, was an extra fence. There was like a barricade. There was like 2 fences to provide like space between where the police officers could be and where the people could be. And there was police officers where the people could be, but there wasn't people
And there was
necessarily.
people protesting the actual event. Like, there was the event, and then there was like the people protecting the event, but then there was like people protesting the event.
Yeah, and the event
and then
was
there
put
were
on
people
by
protesting the people protesting.
right, which were the police officers. I would say the people protesting all sorts of protests would be there to
And
say
the police were just there to try and keep the peace.
they were there to keep the peace. Yes, and the other protesters were there to well, yeah, they were there to say that the speech that they were bringing, the freedom of speech that they were bringing, wasn't allowed because the freedom of speech that they were bringing didn't necessarily mesh well with their values at the university, which were, you know what, if you want to look at it that, I would say you go for it because I'm not an expert. I guess what the protesters would say is what I'm assuming is that what the people rallying for in the free speech was hate speech, and the people rallying were saying, listen, we're not hate speeching, we're just free speech, and it's not against you. You know, I'm trying to see it as 2 sides, Colin.
Oh no, I hear ya.
And anyway, so there were bikes involved, so let's focus on the bikes, okay?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, bikes can be neutral, and if you see bikes, I want to see how they're going to be used in this
So
case.
you did some research. You looked into it a little bit further.
I looked into it. I was interested because I saw bikes when I was
here's
there.
and from your research, the thing that keeps popping into my mind is the fact that you can use your bicycle as a lightweight shield. Like, I can't get over this. Police officers are trained to use a bicycle as their shield.
Yeah. So, right.
Yeah, that's all I can.
Right. So, the picture that we see in the Times, and then the description below, like in the first paragraph, it's like police officers were called to the scene, or not called to the scene. I guess they were there on the scene, but they would use their bikes to barricade, like, any type of
protecting themselves.
Yeah, because I guess that's their priority. I would assume.
Yeah.
And then also using bikes as a way of crowd control.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's kinda
And
like weaponizing it.
that was kind of I felt like that was an undertone of what the bike was used for, which was kind of used for. Okay, let me read.
Like, you could put that in the police manual, but don't tell the public doesn't need to. I don't care how you use it. Like, I can understand that, but.
All right, let's bring it back to where the history of bicycles in Seattle Police Department started.
This is recent, right? 1987, it looks like.
Well, fairly recent. If you're a millennial, then
Yeah.
it's not so recent. But yeah, so on the Seattle Police Department website, they have a specific part about history of bicycle patrol. And I'll just read it to you.
Mm-hmm.
The SPD Bicycle Patrol Unit began in the summer of 1987. Comprised of just 2 officers, the department was attracted to the ease of movement the bicycles could provide within an urban setting. Very still relevant today.
Oh, of course. If not a little bit late to the game.
Yeah.
But, hey, it's still ahead of times for now.
In 87, that was good.
Yeah.
They only had 2 officers. But in addition, during the construction of the Metro bus tunnel, officers needed an easier way to maneuver around downtown when responding to calls. Because there was a lot of development going on, it made it even worse to be.
When did the tunnel open up? Or when were they working on that? Like 1990s?
I'm not really sure, but could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Within the last 20
But
years.
soon it will not be a bus metro tunnel. Soon it will just be
Trains only.
trains only.
Right.
Okay.
Progress.
And the success of the bike led to the addition of 2 more officers. The squad was formed the following summer, and Alki Beach began utilizing a bike patrol as well. And over time, the bike units began to grow in size and reputation of the project grew across the country. Today, hundreds of police departments have bike patrol units based on the Seattle Department's original program.
Nice.
So, it's expanding.
We started it.
It started here.
Yeah.
That's what I have known too. Before knowing this, I knew that there had to be, Seattle has been on the frontier of bikes.
So we can continue to be on the frontier of this operation. Like, I feel like there's a special skill set to being a bicycle officer. There's a special skill set out there.
Would you say they get a different perspective too?
Mm-hmm.
There's a different perspective of officer if they're on a different, like, let's say they're just walking around.
Yeah, there's definitely a person that is more in tune to that sort of beat, for sure.
Yeah. So just like if
like
you were
as much
to,
as I prefer to speed,
right,
like,
just, in the same way that everyday people like you and I, if we were to go into work by bus, we might we might think about the bus differently. If we walk into work, we might think about, oh, this is so great, maybe other people should do it. Or if we drive into work because we have to, then, it's hard to think, oh man, biking into work 7 miles might be too much.
But if that's what you do every day and that's what you're used to, that's your normal.
Yeah, so putting people...
It's nice to see other people doing your normal.
Right, so it's like, it's nice to see other... Right.
Yeah.
Police officers, you could say. What if it was even like fire department or like ambulance or...
Pedicabs are great to see.
Pedicabs are great to see, yes.
Just, anything delivered by bicycle.
Yeah.
We just signed up for that Imperfect Produce. I keep thinking about the Imperfect Produce delivered by bike. That'd be kind of cool to have.
What's Imperfect Produce?
That box of produce, Imperfect.
Yeah. Talk about it.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't gotten a box yet. You've been getting a box for like 2 months.
Oh, right.
But they're a San Francisco company, and we'll see what happens. But they sent me a bunch of produce, and they just sent me an email about bok choy, and I'm pretty stoked on it.
Like a recipe, right?
Well, they're just like, don't forget about bok choy, and I'm like, all right, no problem.
All right.
In mind.
Yeah, maybe they're having like a big sale coming up.
We'll see what happens in my box on Tuesday.
Hey, it is the new year.
It is the new year.
So
it is the Lunar New Year, the year of the dog.
Right.
Don't tell the cat that it is
on
the
Friday,
year of the dog.
Friday, February 15th. It's the new year.
Officially,
right?
Lunarly, it is officially tonight, I think, right? It's the new moon tonight.
Yeah, I think maybe it could be.
Feels like it. Should be.
Hell, I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of big changes going around this time of year in my life, but that doesn't mean anything. Well, I mean, it means something.
It means something, but...
I'm going to spend some more time on this Wheeltalk podcast.
Right. Because you're not Year of the Dogs. You don't matter this year, Colin.
We're going to do some
you got to wait a couple
trapping.
more years, okay?
You should play that song.
All right, you ready for this?
Year of the Dog song. Shall we get it up? We're going to remix.
We have a... Oh, yeah, Chinese New Year's song, so... Be ready for this. Gongxi.
Gongxi. Set us up.
Best wish to everybody here.
This one goes out to all the New Year's in the house.
Yeah, anybody wants to celebrate, man. I celebrated today with the food walk in Chinatown.
Yeah, how was that today?
Phenomenal. Great way to taste different foods and go around and see people.
You sing this song the whole time?
It was in my head. Like, no doubt. It's a little catchy.
It is very, very catchy.
Yeah.
We've listened to it a few times already.
I know.
Is that a koi fish?
Something like that.
How did you hear about this song?
All the people I work with, they were working on introducing songs to the people we work with. And so... cultural sharing, really. Yeah, we just know that where we work it's the best way to teach and to really work with other people is to appreciate each other. So this is one way to appreciate each other, and we don't really need You know, on other celebrations and holidays and stuff, we appreciate each other then too. And this is just one way to do it. And music, everybody can relate to, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
What is this dong sheet?
It's like congratulations and best wishes to you, like in the new year.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a thing to be said. It's like a greeting in a way. Spring. Some things to look forward to, yeah. It's like a passing of the winter into the spring.
It's time to spring forward.
It is. And that's just really good, like, reminder of what bikes can do. And, like, you know, just think the new year of riding your bike around. And the new year of spring is to come soon. And we saw some cherry blossoms out there.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, dude, you should play over this. I turned up. Yeah, here we go. We got a minute of this. There we go. Too many brews.
It's a new year.
Oh, it's a new year.
I'm just learning this song.
Alright, here we go. At the very end of it.
This is it. That was the Pistils at Dawn remix. Dog Trap Edition.
You know what's great?
Battery dead.
Battery's dead. That's right, I remember what we were talking about before. And we have it all written down.
No, I know we did. We got a whiteboard edition of the Dog Trap. Wait, let's back it up.
Back it up.
Back it up. Blues
Reverse.
bike.
Ooh, back pedal.
We already did the Blue Bikes Matter. We're talking about the bike.
Oh, yeah,
police
we were.
on bikes.
Please.
Police.
Police.
on-
Police.
Police your bike.
Yeah. So,
Speaking of bikes, it's almost Valentine's Day. I think you have something.
speaking of bikes.
I heard you have you have a message for the snitch.
All
The
right.
snitch.
I need some R. Kelly. Now, I'm not trying to be cool. But hey, pretty gold bike, it's true.
Hey, pretty baby. Mr. Go Bike, Matthew has something to say to you.
Freestyling to the... Okay, yeah. Hey, listen, bike. All right. It's been a while. You know, I want to take things seriously. Okay? I don't know what you have planned for Wednesday. And this is a little awkward way to ask it, but I guess we have something special going on between us. You know, I see you every day. We ride the same way to work. I don't know, we enjoy the same music too. I feel like sometimes you just understand me. Oh man, you really ring my bell, bike. I felt like it was just yesterday I was rubbing lube all over that chain. And now, I think I'm ready to take it all away. Hey, bike. I think I need you, and I know that you need me too. Please, Golden Snitch, be my Valentine.
Thanks, Matt. That was beautiful.
All right, that's all I got.
Snitch is blushing.
It's blushing.
Never seen a snitch blush like that. We need to talk about parking one more time, though.
Okay.
in this edition. I hate to bring it up for the third time in a row, but I don't hate to bring it up.
Well, we need to address what happened last time too,
What happened last time?
and maybe the time before that. But man, were we going too hard on the car parking last time?
I think so.
I think we were trying to make it up last time with we talked about car parking, and then we need to talk about bikes.
Yeah. And then they removed the bike parking from blocking the homeless people from camping.
Yeah, so it
was like, oh yeah, that was a dumb decision.
Yeah, right. We were asking for it, and then it was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, you did it, but
should we chalk that up as a win? Let's take it.
Well, should you chalk it up as like it's like a $1,000 like mess up? Oops.
But we call them out. Enough people call them out for them to realize
they did. People,
it was a dumb idea. Like
people took pictures. People reported about this. This was great. This was a great form. It was a great thing that bike people did, was just to call the bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, no, you can't use us as your reason for.
Yeah, you can't do a good.
No,
you can't be like, oh hey, yeah, we put in bike parking, Well,
we don't have a lot of other things you could spend that money on, so.
And we didn't really want to say it was because we don't want people sleeping under the bridge.
Right.
So instead,
called out bitches.
Bike parking. Well, people realize that's stupid, because if you're going to put it under a bridge where nobody goes, what's the point?
Yeah.
I think they found the point, and people knew because they found email traces and emails sent to others saying this is homelessness prevention, or this is encampment prevention.
Oh yeah, there was a whole scandal kind of surrounding that, wasn't there?
There was, yeah. It was people apparently within the city.
So this isn't like cyclists like flipping off street, like disobeying the rules like the Seattle Times likes to tell us, isn't it? This is more of
this is the city.
This is very. This is like politics at its finest.
It is, because...
And maybe this war on parking isn't necessarily instigated by bicyclists.
No.
Just saying. I mean, as we continue to instigate through this podcast.
Is it their priority?
But it's at least, like, give us credit for instigating through a podcast. You know what I mean? It's just free advertising.
Was it a creative idea to be like, hey, let's put bike...
It's something they could have gotten away with like 20 years ago, but in this media escape that we are encountering currently, they were just following procedure at that point. They thought they didn't think that it wouldn't work, but that's just what they did with the information, and that's just what they did. Like, it's historically what they did. Your skin's darker than everyone else's, you're gonna be enslaved. I'm sorry, that's just how we do things around here when you get here. Luck of the draw.
Yeah, there was the status quo.
Yeah, definitely.
Way back then, though.
Now, but this is proof that we can flip that. We don't have to settle for, we can see the writing on the wall here. We can see that this is a silly place to put bike infrastructure when we know there's so many other better places that don't have bike racks. I can name 100 places that those bike racks could have gone better suited for if you want to create bike parking. So it's like, I don't know. I think we should make sure that they that they recognize their reasons for putting up bike racks there were because they didn't want homeless people to camp there.
Right.
Not because they didn't want bikes to park there.
Yeah.
It's just no good reason for bikes to park there, and then to deny people bike parking because they spent the money on homeless camping. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, I think what you were going with the mentioning the skin color was that there was no real excuse. There was no real reason for that. No. Just as people with power have no idea of what is going to be used or what is, I guess, the best. Fuck, I don't know how to say it, man.
No, I think I know what you mean. Like, but what does bike parking have to do with homeless people? There's some correlation there. Homeless people typically cannot afford a car.
Yeah, but to be driven out of an area by a
That
bike
is
rack.
not right. That has nothing to do with bike racks.
Yeah.
It's only correlated, sort of. Is the point? Perhaps.
But
if they got rid of the bike racks, and if anything, this podcast can help. If we can get rid of bike racks for humanity, if that's what this podcast can do, that's fine. If that's the least we can do, otherwise, I would like to.
Okay, well, quickly jumping into that. How about bike racks in new apartment buildings that are coming up in Seattle?
I would like to we could get some people on the podcast to talk about that too. Like, if there's any developers that are considering bike amenities, if they thought about like an advisory council for what kind of bike amenities, because amenities are huge around here. Because I mean, you can get a really tiny place for $2,000, no problem. But it's the amenities that you're paying for.
Yeah. You're paying for a downstairs gym.
You're paying for off-street bike
door
parking.
service, yeah.
And you mentioned earlier too, the size of the apartment is so small.
If there's no place to store
to put your
a
bike, then it's gonna create a barrier for you.
Yeah, and you won't want to keep it in there.
I like keeping my bike in my apartment, but I'm a weird person that likes to keep my dirty bike in my apartment. I also like trying to produce a podcast out of the apartment, so. But I'm the exception here. Like,
right, other people might not want to.
I am also aware of the fact that most normal people do not do that,
and
are very averse to it.
So if there was a rule to say that new apartment buildings have to have a certain amount of bike parking for like tenants, I don't know what exactly it is, but
is there a rule that requires parking, car parking for tenants?
I think downtown there is. I think downtown buildings, if they're going to do parking, it has to be below grade, so below
but they
underground.
Have to pay for it. But
that just becomes even more expensive to do.
And then that comes in the argument of what you were dealing with. We talked about a couple weeks ago about the
expenses,
your parking expenses, and the fact that your employer doesn't pay you parking expenses because you don't have any.
No.
And you're the only one that doesn't have any parking expenses.
But other people who do have parking expenses get
your
it,
pay
right?
isn't proportionally adjusted.
Right. So if you were to say, like, one parking space underground costs $50,000 to construct, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to park a car for $50,000.
Or to pass the cost along. Okay, like, think about the beverage tax. They pass that cost along to the consumer. No problem.
Yeah, so they're passing. Oh, yeah, I guess they're passing along. Well, that's why I guess there could be only a certain amount. Okay, so for the Helios, like on 2nd on Pine, where they just built a brand new apartment building in place of a parking structure, they still have parking, but it's all underground.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got to be fucking way expensive, man.
But it's part of the regulation.
And there's not enough spaces for all the units either.
No, of course not.
So you got to be paying like premium dollars to have a car down there.
But that's a separate conversation then, like the transportation mobility. That's all private. That's private parking. That has nothing to do with the on-street parking that the city of Seattle is responsible for.
No, it doesn't.
Or making money off of, or would be better dedicated to things like moving transit or moving people, like travel lanes as opposed to parking lane. On-street parking is just fucking
so to say they have to have, or what if, I don't know, so my unit, where I'm living at now, they try to make a unit like a bike parking space / like workspace, and I walk by and there's like 5 bikes parked in there now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But how much money are they losing not renting that out to a person?
Yeah, but I would just wonder how much of that would then, if they did rent that out to somebody, how much of that would I save? Or would that keep one less person off the streets?
Or lower your rent any at all? Probably
right,
not.
That's what I'm, yeah, but I get a place to put my bike.
That's what the landlord's thinking of.
Right.
Like,
I still get a place to put my bike.
Yeah.
Like, that's always a positive.
Right.
That I get out of it. Do I have to pay extra for it, though? Or
ultimately, maybe.
Maybe, right? But if they did rent that out to somebody, would I pay less? Probably not either.
But should the building be required to provide parking, or is that considered part of the cost? Like, okay, so when I got my place, it was explicit that there was no parking available, or there wasn't even part of the lease option, like not even negotiable.
Mm-hmm.
So historically, parking has been negotiable as part of the lease. I'm guessing, it seems like, because that's the culture that we've inherited.
Yeah, or the unit next to mine, the apartment building next to mine, they have like an on-ground car parking, and then they have a alleyway level
And
parking too.
And it's like negotiated as part of their lease.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's not too many people parked down there.
Nah,
to be honest,
definitely not.
people don't want to pay that.
But they've probably
$100, $200 a month for a parking spot.
That's a lot. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely a commodity, and it creates a cost barrier to people, especially that are already getting priced out of these apartments.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, because you could use that space way more efficiently. You could build
Or
like
those $200 could
2 spots.
get you, however many, like 3 bus stops closer to the city, to your job.
Yeah, I could pay for like 2 months worth of a card, like a monthly pass.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is like what did we just watch? The tax of likening this transportation inequity to a tax on transportation, and thinking about the total cost of getting to your job versus and how that impacts your workforce as a whole, kind of thing.
What?
Yeah, just like in the region as a whole, in the greater region, it's
Sorry, my mind was like,
good.
phew.
I'm
coming back.
Now it's time to segue. We just had war on parking.
War on parking. Oh man, do you want to talk? Should we talk about the bike polo? I got a stick, you guys.
You got a stick. Tell me about, what did you get?
I have
maybe we could do a build next time.
I'd love to do a build.
A build episode? That'd be great.
At least if it's on a build episode, I know it'll get done.
What do you need to do so you looked it up. What do you need to do a bike polo stick?
So I have ski
what do you need to do bike polo?
To do bike polo?
Yeah. I didn't look up anything.
Hopefully just a bike that runs.
Well, that's a good start.
I have one of those. And then I guess to make a stick, you need a ski pole.
No, it seems to work okay.
I bought a ski pole for $5.
Nice.
And then I bought some gloves, some like lacrosse gloves. I don't know. It looked good. It looked cool enough. Yeah, and I like to keep my hands, soft. And I feel like that one guy off of Mice and Men, he like put one glove in the hand of the Vaseline. Keep it soft for your partner.
What's his name? Bernie Mac did that in Ocean's 11 too.
Oh.
So he liked to keep his hand good for the love making.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Anyways,
Vaseline inside your cycling gloves.
Inside my lacrosse gloves for my bike polo cycling.
But for like on tour, man,
Speed.
like you want to keep your hands soft and supple for your.
Yeah, and you want to have enough Vaseline to like start a fire.
Vaseline and cotton balls on fire.
Right.
For sure. Anyhow.
So then I have this pole. I have this ski pole.
Just one. You got a ski pole.
All you need is one, apparently, and then you just like drill a hole into it, put a PVC pipe through it, like into it, and then drill through the ski pole. Put a nut and a bolt through there, and like tighten them up so that they're kind of crossed.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Like just right in the end of there.
Making it really tight, and then there's certain ways to make a great grip and make it look really cool, just like as you're.
But you could probably use like a golf club too if you wanted, right?
Probably, yeah, or hockey stick or something like that, yeah. Yeah, hockey stick would probably work pretty well too.
Yeah, but I was thinking golf club's like a light one, graphite maybe, or.
That's why ski poles work well too. It's because they're really light.
That's what I was thinking. But
yeah.
They were talking about like the grip, and you could put like a grip on there.
Yeah, and then you can wire it around.
Do you know what kind of ball they use? Well, I asked you about this earlier.
I really don't know.
Like a 1/2-inch ball.
1/2-inch ball. I guess there's like different sizes of the PVC pipe you use. Like
Right.
how many inches?
Like these PVs. That's like a 1.5-incher, right?
Ew.
Oh,
What?
That's a 4-inch. It says right on the
4
side.
inch?
4 inches
Diameter?
across. Yeah.
Dang. I think they were saying like 5 inches like long.
That's a long.
Maybe like 2.5 in diameter.
I don't think it's 4 inches. I don't know what 4 inches looks like.
So maybe it'd be like that. Like skinnier, I don't know. I'm still new to it. I'd love to be more involved to do it.
Yeah. We got to get out there. There's a couple free days or amateur nights.
Amateur nights, I think.
One at Cal Anderson, one at that park on 90th Trail, whatever the hell it is.
I-90 Trail, yeah. Right around MLK Way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a couple of courts there.
Yeah, we're going to jump on that this summer.
Yeah, we will. Oh, man. Really quick, too. On the international... Oh, going back to the bike. Okay, real quick. Before we go, you guys. All right, I wanted to name off, like, the top 10. A couple of my favorite of the top 10. Why bike police officers are better on campus than car ones.
Oh, yeah.
So one of them being that they save money around there. Less upkeep.
Mm-hmm.
Another...
Less than cars?
Than cars, yeah. Less upkeep than cars. The other reason being that you get more face-to-face interaction with other people. And less intimidating, right? I guess that's what they were saying on the... It'll all be on the notes below. And you can see on the International Police Officers Mountain Bike Association or something like that.
Yeah, you did some great research on this. We'll link that.
I was interested in it.
For sure.
Seeing... Yeah. That. Oh, they also mentioned the bike can be used for other things, not just biking around to catch perps and catch criminals. And the fact that they mentioned that you can be sneaky, that criminals do not notify or recognize a police officer on a bike. But in the car
Would you
with
be a bike cop, Matt?
pew, pew, pew. It reminds me of
over.
Jump Street, or what is it? Jump Street.
Yeah.
Jump
I'm
Street
already
21.
pulled over, man.
Yeah.
I can't pull over any further.
Yeah. They're just biking around the around the park, catching criminals, throwing stuff into the lake.
Do you know how fast you were going?
No, 12 miles an hour.
12?
15.
13.
It's like, dude, high five.
This is an 11 zone.
New record. Chest bump. Boom. Ow. Your body cam hit me right in the plexus, man. But one of the reasons, okay, is that they
Why do
could
we
be
have Chris
used for
Tucker
other
on
things. You can hold them up. They were trained to be put up to the chest.
The bike shields.
The bike shields.
Yeah, that was
The lightweight, sturdy frame can be put up to your chest and used as a barricade. I can only imagine that it's like walking into battle with just bikes as a shield and just,
Getting nutted in the pedal with a nut.
yeah,
Pedal nutted.
really nutty. And there's got to be a bike chant to it too.
That was my contribution.
Ah, thank you. Either way,
This has been a pretty short podcast, I think. No, it's been a long one.
another longie. Well, hey, thanks for listening, y'all. It's been really fun to do this, and I hope that
New Year.
it's been a great new year.
Ready for the dog.
Yeah, we're looking forward to everybody listening and, subscribing. I'm really fascinated to see what you guys have to share out there too. I'm working on following more people on the Twitter and
The Twitters,
I want to see what everybody's up to. And I feel like that's a great way for me right now to find out what it is. That's how I'm going to get a lot of content that I put on here is if you
Yeah, hit us up.
tweet at us, I guess.
Is that if that's what you got to do? Is
If
tweet
you-
at us. I think that's what the kids do, right?
Yeah, it's the
Tweet
alt.
at us.
Yeah, I think it's the Alt 2 button. Okay, Alt 2 us, and then is that it? It was the Shift 2. Shift 2 Wheel Talk S for
Just
some
Google how
ideas.
to tweet at us,
Mhm.
because that's how we figured out how to get a tweet.
Yeah, G&E Family Cyclery followed us. It was like one of the
Nice.
first Bike Happy month.
Oh, even
Was
better.
following us.
Are there any bike happy events going on this month?
I know that they have the .83 rides at 7 o'clock Thursdays, every Thursday.
And Bike Happy Month, they're still counting down their fundraiser. 20 days left for the Peddlers Fair.
Yeah, please donate, man. I mean,
Pedalpalooza. Getting there.
donate. If you can't donate, ask one of your rich friends to donate. I mean, apparently, the tech industry, they're making over $100,000 a year with this. They can donate something.
Something.
And if not, you know what? Hopefully they're putting their money elsewhere in something likewise or something really important. So if they're not, plug them. Oh, you know what we should do?
Bike share. Oh, we got a bike share idea. The e-bike, E-Limes just went out, right? I've seen
They
like
did.
4 of those E-Lime bikes. We're going to do an E-Lime bike special.
Yeah, we're
coming
going to break them
soon.
down.
Though, yeah, we'll put them through the ropes. I've never been on an e-bike.
Neither have I.
Let's see if what is it? $1 for 10 minutes.
Yeah, unlock it for $1, 10 minutes, or $1 for 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Anyway,
after that.
we got a full episode coming your way dedicated to electric bicycling around this city.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
And we,
Do you see any? You want to talk about Vision Zero here? Do they have any other upcoming events or?
This is a lot of regional stuff. The Gorge Gravel Grinders on until April, but I think that's about it. Seattle Bike Polo Beginners Night at Cal Anderson on the 14th. So if you don't have your Valentine, check out the Beginners Night. We'll be working on that next week. We're gonna get into that polo.
Maybe you'll meet them there.
Yeah,
maybe they will. Maybe they'll be
meet
between
us
your
there.
legs by the time you get there. Yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
perhaps, huh?
Nazi Matthew.
I'm just listen.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody's in the mood. Okay. You're like cuddling up. It's trying to stay warm.
Yeah, it's cold out there.
Yeah. I know, dude. And it's hard when you're trying to. No, I don't want to say it.
And your bike's all cold
I was
and
gonna say-
chrome alloy and carbon.
It's hard to stay warm when your only partner is, frozen appendage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Saddle it.
saddle up. I wanted to play an awesome soundbite for you. All right. I think would be a great exit. However,
We need a good outro song. I don't have one. So we'll just call it. Thanks, guys.
We'll call it. Wheel Talk.